So the Comicon was pretty exciting. There was a lot of costumes, a lot of fans. I guess that was the most packed it's ever been as far as downtown Seattle goes. They moved the con from having 1 to 2 floors to taking up 4 floors of the convention center. It was so huge, and a lot of people there.
Oh, I like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nowadays that was a cover.
Yeah, that was actually from the one of the last issues. The only last issue Robin, but in that cover, Batman was kind of ghosted out,
Right.
and then when he made it a print, he kind of made him less ghosted, more prominent.
Rift or whatever, whatever you want to do. So, how do you handle? This is like this is a question that I'm always curious about because I have my own opinions, but not that there's a right or wrong answer. How do you handle SDC to MDC?
We saw a couple that were dressed as Shrek, which I thought was really cool. These people, it was like a husband and wife dressed up as Shrek. They got a big crowd around them, people taking pictures, wanting to see them. I thought that was really cool because I heard a lady in the crowd make a comment that, oh wow, look, something kid-friendly. Can you imagine that? And so it made me think, yes, there's hundreds of people driven towards the sex and violence side of this art, and maybe even the pop culture, the TV actors and movie actors, people lining up to see that. They want to see the pop culture side of it. And but I also saw, maybe there's a market there. There's a need for something toned down for kids, something that's more accessible for children and for adults and maybe Christians. And there was nothing like that at the con. So I thought maybe we have a chance of pulling this off because I'm really targeting, not only focusing on my goals and narrowing down to one thing, doing comic books only, instead of all over the map doing 100 things and not getting anything done, but not only doing comics but focusing on one genre of comic, really getting a niche market, because if I can get it squeezed down to a certain target audience, I feel like I will be pulling in the right people that really want to see my book.
That was hardly almost there. Oh, cool.
I liked a couple of comments. One particular artist that I talked to about the industry, and he's from Phoenix, Arizona. He was really nice, really cool. He mentioned, his whole thing going there, it's not about the money. He doesn't care if he makes anything. It's just all about making connections, having conversations. He sells a lot on his website. He's already known in the industry. Across the country, he's got a good fan base, and he sells a lot off the internet and through the companies that he works for, DC, Marvel, all of this. So he's not too concerned about raking in a lot of cash in just one town like Seattle, making some money there, but he's more interested in making the connections, having conversations, seeing what people like, what they dislike, getting new people turned on to his work, that people that weren't familiar with him before. And I thought that was such a great attitude to have to go in. I'm just coming back from Comicon in Seattle, driving through Idaho. just thinking about all the things that I learned and ideas I got, inspiration from the comic book convention. One thing I really hit home for me was my New Year's resolution. I really wanted to start my own business. I wanted to do too much and not focus on one thing. I was going to be scattered all over the map, thinking that's the way to do it in Libby, because Libby, if you focus on one thing, you're not going to make a lot of money, because if I just do business cards, how many people can I actually do business cards for in Libby that aren't already going to the printing press and copy this, send that, other places? Other things I wanted to do in town with marketing. I think teaching would still be a good thing to do once I get set up. I could teach art classes in town. I still want to pursue that, but I really felt like God was tugging on my heart this week, really getting me focused and straightened out, and it was pretty amazing that I feel like, as much as it won't make me money, it's what I want to do is work on comic books. And talking to some professional artists in the field at the booths at Seattle Comicon, at the Emerald City Comicon 2014 now, they really made me feel like I have a shot at this. I can actually do this, have a booth, sell my work, try to get people to notice my comic book I'm working on. So Gordon and I, my friend Robert Gordon Weldon, we went to Seattle together. We are working on a plan. We decided we want to go back to Comicon next year in 2015 and take our portfolios. So that gives us a year to work on our work on our art, get some pages roughed up. I had one particular artist tell me that if I brought samples in up to 12 pages, he would critique them. He would give me his opinion on where I'm at and what I'm doing. That would be very useful. So within the next year, you know, I don't have to do 12 pages, but I really would like to get 12 pages going, get that all set up, and that way they can go through, see, I can get an honest opinion where I haven't gotten too far with my work, to where I have to, if I have several issues done of my comic book, get opinions from professionals and go back and rework everything. I'll focus on 12 pages, getting it, and that'll get me into the rhythm of doing it, get me into a system, and get some critiques, 12 pages, and then the following year, after we get our portfolios looked at from the artists at Comicon, the following year, 2016, Gordon and I want to actually rent and set up a table and have our comics laid out on it. One other thing I would like to do is not only have our comic books, at least one issue of something we put together, one of mine, one of his, but also I want to do a series of paintings. And since I'm going to be doing Christian comics, I want to do some paintings with some Christian themes to them, and put those up at the booth also. Maybe that could be behind me, set up on a backdrop.